Home Team Morning Show. It's Old School 106.7. Ed Shorty in the building this morning on the Home Team Morning Show. And this morning, the emancipation of children. So, why would a kid need to be emancipated, Ed?
There are a couple of different reasons. Kid could have some money and the parents are not responsible. You know, you get one of these little famous kids, rappers or something. And, you know, when you're a kid, you don't have the ability to enter into contracts. You can't legally buy things that would require a contract, like a car. So your parents are responsible for everything.
Right.
And you may have a situation where a kid says, hey, look, I'm making all this money, and my parents are not responsible people.
But how could a 16-year-old know, you know, that
you can know that you're making money and you ain't got no money. I mean, or that they're blowing through your money. I mean, you could see it.
Right.
You know, if you're in the entertainment industry or you're
actor or something,
or someone has left you money,
right,
and they're responsible for that money. You were involved in an accident, and there's money out there for you, and you said, man, I see where my parents are blowing my money. How do I get the ability to hire professional money managers or deal with this? If
either you're the kid seeing this or there's another responsible adult that's close to you that happens to see this, then in fact you might want to take some action. Quick question. One way to do it that might not be the smartest way to do it is marrying. Emancipation by marriage.
And look, we're discussing this, and I am not advocating a story.
That at all.
I'll tell you.
How many of us are emancipated by marriage? I mean, honestly.
I heard of a recent story where an individual had a custody hearing, and the child had said, look, I don't want to live with one parent. I want to live with the other parent.
Got it.
And the court said, hey, no, you're going to live with the parent that we ordered you to live with. And this kid says, no, I'm going to go emancipate myself. So this kid goes and gets married and says, I'm emancipated. I'm free. I'll go live with the parent I wanted to live with.
Totally insane.
Now, obviously, I'm not advocating that, and no one should.
But you can't get married under a certain age, so isn't that problematic?
Depends on what state you're in.
There you go. What is a judicial emancipation?
Judicial emancipation is when you ask the court for the emancipation. You can either do it judicially by marriage, or you can do it by authentic act, where everybody signs off and says, "Hey, we're emancipated here."
Right.
You know, and this is a very serious thing where you're basically saying, I want the rights of an adult. I can sue and be sued, because children can't be sued, and there are other reasons a parent may want to do it.
Right.
Let's say you've got a kid who is a complete problem.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no control over this child.
Some of this could come back to be a part of, give you financial difficulties and legal difficulties.
Financial difficulties, or you could end up in court.
Right.
Why is your kid not going to school? Why is your kid committing crimes? Blah, blah, blah. And you say, I have no control over this kid. I'm going to emancipate this joker. So I won't be hauled down to court all the time, because this kid is not listening.
Completely
and I don't
control.
want to go to juvenile court every other day.
All right. When we come back, we'll tell you exactly what you can and cannot do once this emancipation is done. And we were talking about emancipation of young people.
Not the proclamation.
Emancipation of kids under the age of 21 or the age of 18, I guess. But what can't you do? Say you're emancipated from your parents, right? And you've got your own money to be able to do things. You still can't buy alcohol.
Things that are illegal, or set by age restriction in the law. You know, like alcohol. You don't think you're going to go get emancipated so you can go
I can buy a beer,
or that you're going to go to the casino or something like that. You know, that will not open that particular door for you.
You can decide where you want to live.
Yes, I mean you get all of the rights of an adult.
Got it.
And that's the hook to it.
So you can buy a car.
You can contract, which is purchasing a car.
Amazing.
If somebody's going to extend you credit, you can go ahead and get it. Now, I don't know how you anticipate paying for it, but that's the same question that the person extending you credit's going to ask you. But I'm assuming if you're considering contracting, you've got income.
Got it.
What grounds would a parent fight emancipation? I mean, or is that something you see?
I think there are a number of grounds where you'd fight an emancipation. I mean, the parent is going to think.
You ain't grown yet.
You're not grown yet.
You can't wipe your own and you want to move.
Yeah,
okay.
You don't have the ability to do what you're trying to do. You're not competent enough to do it. I know better than you.
Right.
And that's the fight that they're having. You know, the kid saying, well, I don't think you know what you're doing with my money.
Got it. Understood.
You know.
Well, the big thing is that parents are not responsible for the actions of an emancipated minor. In other words, you commit a crime or any of that other stuff, parent is under no obligation to have to be there.
I'll give you another one that I've seen every once in a while. And once again, I may talk about these things. This is something you really need to look into before you take this drastic step. What is the parent's obligation to tuition? And you may say, well, look, I've got to kick in a certain amount on college tuition. But if you're emancipated, that may diminish my obligation to, when we're talking about the kid's financial aid.
Right.
You're doing that financial aid application. You say, well, look, my parents' contribution to the tuition would be X number of dollars. But this kid is emancipated. He doesn't live in my roof.
He grown.
Yeah, he's not in my household.
All grown.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Pocket.
And I've seen people start having that discussion about, hey, let me see if this kid can get more financial aid if I emancipate him.
Wow, that's amazing. Ed, thanks so much for being here. You can see the video of this interview on our website, oldschool1067.com. Ed, give us the phone number.
207-1370. Go Saints!
Go
Saints! Wasn't that a great deal?
Until the last 2 minutes.
Oh, my God.
That was great.
8:46. This Right Now traffic brought to you by Cars.com.